And let me tell you, this cousin movement is the greatest thing to have ever happened in Kenya. Because our cousins have been misused by Raila for a long time. Long time. Every election cycle, he has been mobilizing my cousins from the Mlembe nation, from the Kamba nation, from the Luya from the Kisii nation, from the Mijikenda nation, from the Taita nation, and mobilizing all those cousins and cheating them that he's taking them to Canaan. And because people love Canaan, my cousins fell for it for many years. The minute he gets there, he doesn't intend to be president. He has no such intention. He's not interested. He likes power, but with no responsibility. He doesn't want to take responsibility. So he creates problems. He is invited into government and starts eating. And that is why, like now, he is quiet. Because he's a very good observer of good manners. When you're on the table eating, you don't talk. So these cousins now have found their way as a family. And now all the cousins are talking the same language. So I saw Tinga the other day crying about cousins. He was crying in a funeral. Instead of mourning the late Phoebe Asio, he was mourning the loss of cousins from his grip. Because these cousins wamechanuka. And you know, the other day when he brought problems, he was invited to the table by Ruto to eat together. He forgot all the cousins and went alone. Yet he wants these cousins to wait for him to mislead them every election. So whoever Tinga, well, let me tell you, don't talk about cousins. Keep off family matters. Hii ni mambo ya familia, si ndio? Mambo ya familia usiingilie. So the cousin movement is a great thing, and all cousins, all in-laws, all the people of Kenya are one family now. And all the people of Kenya now are cousins opposed to abductions and extrajudicial killings, and they are all speaking the same language. So the survivor of the Kiambaa Church, some MPs from Rift Valley have been shouting at me that I should not talk about that matter. We must talk about it because history informs the present, and the present informs the future. The scars of Kiambaa Church are evident with Anthony here, and he has done well to document that history. We forgive, but we have not forgotten. And we are saying never again shall we ever allow what happened in Kiambaa and in the Rift Valley ever to happen again. Kenyans must be allowed to make their choices freely on who is to govern them, who is to lead them without any reprisals from anybody for whatever reason. As we seek, in that cabinet, I'm the only guy who was speaking. And in fact, I heard the majority leader in Senate, Haron Cheriot, saying that I never used to speak in cabinet. I stopped speaking. Because I realized this guy, even if you speak, he has already decided what will happen. So you are just wasting your time. So I'll just sit and not even listen because he has already decided what will happen. So they had matter. I found working groups of young people. Nobody is a boss there. Everybody is allowed to be creative and to have initiative, and is discussed and agreed on. It was a very useful lesson for me. That given a chance to lead Kenya, I'll create such an environment even within cabinet, even among PSs. I just allow people to talk and be easy so that they are able to be creative and productive and they can be useful to the country. So I want to say I am very...
Because I know I don't have a lot of time. On the 1st of January 2008, we were playing games, Banta. You come and do Banta? As kids, just having fun. And then we actually inside the church as kids. So when I was inside, I heard rocks being thrown at the church, you know. So we didn't know it was rocks. It was just like ta, 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 ta. And then when we went to look, there was a bunch of people charging towards the church with like face paintings, machetes. I'm a kid. I'm scared. Went back inside the church. But so did everybody else. You know, the women, mostly women, came inside the church. Everybody else, all the young people, we went inside the church. And as soon as we got inside the church, you know, everybody was screaming and everything. They locked the church. And mind you, the church was made out of wood. And then it has like mabati. It's KAG, Kenyan Assembly of God. So when we were inside the church, they locked the church to where you couldn't get out, right? And then they took the bikes that people came with, and they locked the main doors so you couldn't push it out. Then people had brought mattresses because some people slept at the church. Once they did this, they lit the church on fire with kerosene while we were inside the church. Now, again, I'm young. I keep emphasizing on this because the older people, everybody's now scrambling to get outside the church, or screaming, the women are screaming, everybody's trying to get outside. People are stepping on me as they're trying to get out because now it's like everybody for their life. The reason I got burnt on my hands is because at some point in the church, I was one of the last people to get outside the church. The church is falling, you know, it's made out of wood, so it's burning really quick. I'm protecting myself, kujikinga, ndio nisiungwe, you know, even covering my face, so I could kind of see where I'm going. That's how my hands ended up getting burnt. And most of my burns was because things were falling. And at one point, I was down on the floor, you know, but by the grace of God, I was able to survive. I was able to get outside the church. As soon as I got outside the church, you could see people on the ground, dead bodies, people who had been chopped up by machetes. Some people had been covered by a blanket. And then I got outside the church, and now I'm trying to go back to my grandma's because I don't know where else to go. And mind you, everybody else has already kind of left. Like I'm fast forwarding. So as I'm walking out, and then I'm trying to go back to my grandma's house, there's a few people that I met with. And they told me, naenda wapi? And I was like, I'm going to my grandma's house. And they told me, kama nataka kuishi, nifuate kila mtu, kama nataka kufa niende hivyo venye naenda. So, and then they pointed to like where everybody was at, and I could see people walking that had left the church. This time I do not know that I'm burnt. I have no idea, don't have pain because of the adrenaline.